Hello my fellow nerds, it's been a while since I made a video for you. I did want this one released by the solstice, but I decided to wait until after Christmas so as not to stress myself out. And my goodness, there has been quite a lot happening in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes recently. Not least of which is this striking new load screen you're looking at right now. We now have a new feature called the Journey Guide, which allows us to play or replay any of the events for most legendary characters anytime we choose. So now I won't have to wait for, say, Padme's event to come around again. I can go in and play it as soon as my Separatist team is powerful enough. On a more personal note, since my last video, I reached a ranking in the squad arena in the 900s for the first time ever, mostly thanks to Mother Talzin's relic, although I'm not yet powerful enough to retain that position. Still, it's an achievement and one that encourages me. I have unlocked quite a lot of new characters since my last video. Most of them have been because of acquiring shards from Galactic War, such as my new Darkside characters Mob Enforcer and Kylo Ren Unmasked. But there have also been a few marquee events in recent weeks due to the release of The Rise of Skywalker, and these have granted me General Hux and Sith Trooper. And I'm very intrigued to see what the Sith Trooper's role in the film is going to be. Haven't quite seen it yet. I have also obtained Geonosian Brood Alpha through very deliberate farming. I want to use him for the final tiers of aggressive negotiations, accompanied by Geonosian Soldier, Sun Fac, B1 Battle Droid, and Droidicar. I've been testing this team in Galactic War, and they synergize together very well indeed. My latest light side unlocks include Fives, Rex, and Coruscant Underworld Police through Galactic War, Jyn Erso via deliberate farming, finally giving me a complete Rogue One squad, and also the game's newest character as of this video's release date, Resistance hero Finn. Interestingly, one of the event units borrowed in Tier 4 of Finn's marquee is General Kenobi, which got me wondering if Obi-Wan somehow has some kind of role to play in, or at least some influence over Episode 9. Not sure yet. But speaking of General Kenobi, I also finally unlocked him just before I started putting this video together, and I'm very eager to get him geared up and incorporated into my Padme squad. Anyway, let's assign some bonus points to my characters for the rankings from my previous video. These are basically the same, except this time we don't have Asajj Ventress. However, Newt Gunray and Jedi Revan scored enough to earn themselves bonus points in the previous rankings, so they joined the starting lineup as well. This time I'm going to distribute the points from each stat in reverse order, starting with tenacity and moving through to power. I've been meaning to do this for a few weeks just to change things up a bit, but just before I started putting this video together, there was a very interesting shift in the overall power stat of my roster, which I want to leave as a surprise for the end, so bear with me, this is going to get intriguing. So, Geonosian Brood Alpha makes his first leaderboard appearance in second place for the tenacity rankings, which I'm not surprised about, as he's a character that works well with lots of tenacity mods, so that's what I gave him. Padme has jumped up into 4th place from 9th in this stat, and Sun Fac has found his way here to 8th place. All other characters have just been pushed down to accommodate these changes, except for Poe, who continues to hold top position, so 10 points to him to kick things off. I geared up Night Sister Spirit and Old Darker to gear 11, which knocked Scion off the top of the potency rankings for probably the first time since I started making these videos. We're missing Sun Fac. I think I might have remodded him, hence his appearance in Tenacity and disappearing here. But Droidicar's joined in at 10th place, and apart from that, everything's pretty much the same. Special damage is also much the same as last time, apart from Jolie coming up into 10th place, knocking Tarkin out of the top 10, and also a little shuffling around of the other characters. Physical damage is much the same as special, a bit of shuffling around, Padme is now in the top 5, and a new character knocking out a previous one. In this case, Ventress is now in 8th place, knocking Snips out of this stat top 10. This was her last source of points in this series of videos, so she'll be well and truly out of the top 30 until I can get around to upgrading her some more. Starting with tenacity instead of power certainly makes for a different halftime leaderboard check than usual. We've got Night Sisters dominating the top 3, followed by the usual high scorers Nihilus, Padme, Anakin, and Grandmaster Yoda. Also characters like Poe and IG-100, who usually only appear in the middle of the top 30 right at the end, solely due to their high tenacity points, are already here at half time. The Night Sisters are of course the highest scoring faction on 90 total points so far, followed by the Separatists on 52, Jedi on 50, Galactic Republic on 48, and the Sith on 35. A little shuffling around has occurred in speed between Revan, Qui-Gon, Newt Gunray, and Night Sister Spirit, but everything else is the same. I haven't mentioned this yet, but Anakin is now at gear 12, which interestingly is still not enough to increase his speed score beyond that of Darth Sidious, who is only gear 8 and still only level 66. I just can't bring myself to upgrade him any further than that. Anakin's upgrade to gear 12, as well as Padme and Nihilus being upgraded to gear 11, have caused a rather dramatic shift in the protection rankings. They've all passed Visas Ma, who's dominated this stat until now and has even been promoted to 6 stars and gained a Zeta ability since the last video, to claim 3 of the top 4 spots, though of course Mother Talzin still holds number 1. Old Daka has also made her way to 8th position. Visas does make up for this a little bit in health. She was not there in my last video, but now she's in 10th place. Padme's made a great improvement too. She's now in 4th place when she was in 11th last time, and Anakin's in 6th place when before he was in 13th. So 7 and 5 points to those two respectively when they previously scored 0 for this stat. So here comes the surprise twist I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Jedi Knight Anakin, who I've had for almost as long as I've been playing this game, and who I've been investing so many resources into upgrading to the point where he is now at gear 12, has been replaced by relative newcomer Jedi Knight Revan in the number 2 spot of the Power Stat Top 10. It was the second Zeta ability that I recently put on him that did it, and I know that there's one more of his abilities that I can still upgrade to that status, and he's not currently at an incredibly high gear level, so I wonder if he's going to be the main contender for top dog against Talzin in the not too distant future. I also geared up Nihilus to tier 11 and granted Zetas to both him and Chief Chirpa, bringing a little Ewok representation back into the leaderboards. Asajj Ventress, holding on to her 10th position since the last video, is now the only character in my Power Top 10 without a Zeta. I hope to have Droideka promoted to 7 stars by the next time I publish a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, so that will probably be enough of a power boost to have Zetas throughout this stat. This time I will be revealing the top 30 final leaderboard in sections, and there's a few interesting things in this bottom 9 section. In my last few Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes videos, 6 points has turned out to be the threshold for making it into the top 30. Ranks 31 and lower never accumulated that many points. Now the bottom 2 characters have only accumulated 4 points each. This does make sense, as when there are only a finite amount of points to distribute, all the extra upgrading I've been doing on my already high ranking characters like Anakin, Padme, Revan, Nihilus, and the Night Sisters means there's more points for them and less for the rest of the top 30. Ewok Elder is a good example of this. He's dropped 13 places since the previous rankings, the biggest shift in this video, up or down. He's been a favourite character of mine in this game for a long time because having a revive ability is always useful, but I guess as I've become a better player I don't need that to fall back on so much anymore, so I've not upgraded him in quite some time, and inevitably that means other characters are overtaking him. Ventress and B1 reappear in the top 30 this time around, B1 for the first time since the very first Galaxy of Heroes video that I did. They're on 4 and 5 points respectively, and surpassed by T3, also on 5 points, yet down 5 spots from the last rankings. Qui-Gon and Magma Trooper on 6 points each, both up 2 positions, and Sith Marauder, Bad Distiller, and Night Sister Initiate all on 7 points. The next batch of 7 are predominantly on 9 points each. Scion is down 5 places due to losing his top spot in the potency stats to the Night Sisters. IG-100 up 1 spot in 20th position. Geonosian Brute Alpha making his debut on the leaderboards in 19th. Visas and Zalbar up 7 places each despite Visas losing so many protection points. Then there's a group of 10 pointers to bring us into the next batch of 7. Poe up 3 places in 16th, and Talia and Geonosian Soldier both dropping 4 positions each into 15th and 14th place respectively. Sidious has crept up into 13th on 11 points, probably the first time he and Scion have not held consecutive ranks. Grandmaster Yoda has held 12th spot from last time and is also on 12 points. Droidekar on 14 points is up 7 spots, only just missing out on a top 10 position. Newt Gunray is up 3 spots on 15 points, and then Jolie and Sunfac on 16 points each make up the second last point tie of this video. That's right folks, we have a tiebreak needed situation in the top 7. It's been a long time since that's previously happened, and these top spots are getting competitive. So, in 7th place we have Jedi Knight Revan on 24 points, down 2 spots from last time. In 6th place, just like last time, Night Sister Spirit on 26 points. Darker in 5th on 29 points. And then Nihilus and Padme both on 36 points each. Considering the nature of point distribution in this system, tying on such a high amount is quite a rare thing to happen. So, Anakin, despite losing his number 2 spot in the power stat to Jedi Revan, has at last achieved the number 2 spot in the top 30, knocking Darth Nihilus into 3rd place. And of course, Mother Talzin remains in the number 1 spot overall. So this results in 141 total points for the Night Sisters, still ranked highest of all these factions. Jedi and Galactic Republic still hold the 2nd and 3rd places respectively, followed by the Separatists and the Sith who have swapped ranks. The 105 points the Jedi accumulated includes 3 points from Hermit Yoda and 2 from Jedi Bastila, neither of whom made it into the top 30 this time. Similarly, R2-D2 contributed 4 points to the Galactic Republic, Droid, and Resistance factions. Imperial Guard added 4 points to the Empire's overall score, while Chief Chirper contributed 3 points to the Ewok total. And since more than one Ewok received points this time around, that means they have a faction score again. It's the lowest score of all the factions, but it's nice to see them making an impact again. Despite the Separatists and Sith swapping ranks, the members of those factions will still only receive 1 bonus point each at the beginning of the next Galaxy of Heroes video I make. Jedi and Galactic Republic characters will receive 2 points each, or 4 points if they belong to both factions, and the Night Sisters will each receive 3 points, except for Asajj Ventress, who also receives a bonus point as a Separatist character. This will put her in 2nd place on equal score with Anakin and the other Galactic Republic Jedi. In summary, a very interesting top 30 this time around. The points are being spread very thin down at the lower end and accumulating more thickly in the higher ranks. It's quite like toxic capitalism, isn't it? Anyway, that is all from me for this video, and that is also all from this channel for the rest of the year. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share it with all of your friends. Thank you for watching, may the Force be with you, and I look forward to nerding out with you again in 2020.